Hi everyone. Welcome to Hunter Heartbeat. Let's get started. We're gonna put our hands in the air. We're gonna touch the ground. We're gonna put our hands on our knees and take a deep breath in. And we're gonna listen to the clock. If you wanna close your eyes, that's fine. If you wanna rock back and forth, that's fine. Whatever you'd like to do to relax. Every year, Ensemble Theater Cincinnati brings theater to hundreds of students in the Cincinnati area. One of the theater's most unique educational programs is called the Hunter Heartbeat Method, a technique of teaching social and communication skills to students with severe and profound disabilities.
Cramps!
Oh, you wonder.
Yeah.
You can pick shadow, cramps, sword fighting, freeze, trance, oh, you wonder.
Wow. Spectrum is the perfect word to describe it because I feel like everybody knows somebody with autism, but what that means to them is a whole different thing.
The autism spectrum, the way I describe it normally is they think just like we do, they're just wired a little differently.
Autism spectrum, as it said, it's a wide range.
Autism spectrum is a disability that affects individuals where they live more in a concrete world than we do.
I think kids with autism kind of have it the hardest. You know, you might think a kid in a wheelchair or a kid with a trach has a really rough go of it, but kids with autism are very much aware that they're different, and they're very much aware that they want to fit in, they want to have friends, but they just can't hit that mark sometimes.
Hey Dylan, what face are we doing? Matt.
Me.
Hello.
Whoa.
Well, he was 18 months. He was completely forming sentences and he was interacting with everyone and he was up till 18 months. And then something happened where he just stopped talking, he stopped interacting, he started to become, I don't want to say a wild child, but he couldn't sit still, he was spinning in circles, he started doing all these odd behaviors. And I, obviously a new parent, a young parent, I'm thinking, is this normal? This can't be normal.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
She was diagnosed with autism at age 4, and she also has anxiety and OCD. And recently, through the teen years, we've had lots of issues with a little more harmful things like self-injury and sometimes hurting others. And the obsessive part sometimes goes to a level of just where she can't function.
Because it's a spectrum, it's very, very hard to describe. One of the main features, I think, of the whole spectrums is social skills. And then, you know, sometimes you've got kind of like tactile issues or other sensory issues.
And they want to be friends with like the cool kids, they want to play sports, they want to play video games, they want to be in drama, but they can't quite make those connections all the time, which is hard for them, hard for the parents, hard for their teachers, and they very easily get written off as the weird kid, when really they have gifts to give and talents to share just like anybody else.
And I think one thing that people get kind of hung up on are like the tics of autism. Like people with autism will repeat a phrase multiple times, and people will flap their hands, and people might have sensory sensitivity. And for me, that's not what autism is about. That's like the surface level. And if you look to only work on those skills or judge somebody by those characteristics, you're not gonna meet the real person. Yeah, just like me having a beard doesn't define me as a human being. And if you only pay attention to my beard, you're not going to know who I am.
The
Hunter Heartbeat method is a method of teaching kids with disabilities anywhere from mild to severe and profound that uses Shakespearean plays, specifically The Tempest and A Midsummer Night's Dream, to reach kids with disabilities and reach them in terms of teaching social skills, teaching communication skills, interpersonal skills, and it takes one specific moment of a play and explores that moment's relationship to the kid's senses.
Very good. I want to learn a new face today. We have never done this face. Very, very exciting stuff. New face is hungry. Hungry, hungry, hungry. I'm sure you guys have never felt this in your life. So, let's see. When I do hungry, Brianna, what's hungry to you? If you had to be hungry, what would you look like?
My brother is severely disabled. His name is Adam. He's probably, as I like to put it, autistic with a capital A.
Your mom.
What?
You need to calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah.
And so the reason I ended up getting into theater ended up being a lot due to him. When you're the sibling of someone with a severe and profound disability, a lot of your parents' attention needs to go to him or her. I didn't get a lot of attention from my parents, not in a bad way. They were always very supportive of everything I tried to do, but growing up with my brother, he demanded a lot of attention, and so I grew up with a whole separate set of skills. And so for me, theater ended up being an outlet, I think was how it started. And so I started applying to like all of these different apprenticeships, and I ended up getting two. One from Ensemble Theater Cincinnati, where I am, and another from another theater that's, you know, has technically more prestige. And for some reason something told me to come to Ensemble, and I knew nothing about Cincinnati. I just like drove here, I knew the Cincinnati Bengals played here. I didn't even know the Cincinnati Reds played here. Like, that's all I knew. And I met Lynn Myers, who's the artistic director here, and Shannon Ray Lutz, who's the director of apprentice programming, and things just fell into place. It was like someone put me in that theater company that was able to give me everything that I needed at that moment. Luck is a big key, you know, and I'm blessed to work in a place where they give me the autonomy over my own work and the freedom to explore and the freedom to fail if I need to.
Dylan, you want to play? Yes or no? You want us to play? All right, come on up. Do you want to play with Ben or Brianna? Okay. Do you want to be Ferdinand or Miranda? Miranda? Ferdinand? Miranda? Ferdinand. Okay. Here we go. So we're gonna walk around. You're gonna find my eyes, Ellen. Find my eyes. Find my eyes. Find my eyes. Find my eyes, 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 find my eyes.
I'd always known that theater in terms of working with kids with disabilities was what I wanted to do. It was shocking that we don't work with this population more when I started, just because I think of all kids that could benefit from a theater education, these are the kids that need it more, and these are the kids that need it most. You know, if the whole issue with individuals with disabilities, they have trouble connecting with the world around them and the relationships that you and I have as human beings, if that's kind of the crux of the matter there, and theater's entire purpose is to explore the ways two people interact in society. I mean, the fact we're now just coming to this partnership is like ridiculous to me. So I always knew that I wanted to work theater education for individuals with disabilities. And I was kind of exploring my own process and coming up with my own methodology. It was Lynn was invited to Ohio State to take a weekend with the Hunter Heartbeat, and she was not able to go due to some rehearsal commitments, but she forwarded it to me knowing this was something that I think I would find interesting. And I went there not expecting a whole lot. A lot of the time you get individuals with disabilities and teachers with them that it's a very surface level. And I went actually with my friend Carrie Parsons, who's another collaborator and artist of mine, who is she also has a brother with a disability. And the two of us were just completely blown away by this methodology. and how kind of grassroots it was and how freeing it was.
Cramps! Oh, yeah!
There it was.
Better!
So the first game I always play is called Cramps. It is a game between Prospero the wizard and Caliban the monster, and they have a contentious relationship. And so the student and the teacher walk around the circle, and whoever's playing Prospero, when they feel like it, can point at the monster and say the word cramps.
Good. Oh!
The monster will immediately fall to the ground in writhing pain. In order to make him better, Prospero will clap his hands and say the word better. This game is very, very helpful in that it teaches body awareness. It is an introduction into the imaginative process that a lot of these students don't have. And it's fun. It's probably one of the funnest games we play, and everybody loves it. And at the same time, it deals with the most basic emotion we all feel. It doesn't matter whether you have a disability, if you don't have a disability, if you're black, white, anything, you know what pain is. And it's the most basic emotion that we feel as human beings. So there's Cramps.
So Brianna's gonna put her hand right in front of you. And when she opens, you're gonna follow it. Here we go.
Another game we play is a game called Trance. In this game, Prospero is going to put Caliban under a spell with his hand closed, and he opens it, and when he opens it, Caliban is in a trance. And this trance exudes from the palm of Prospero's hand, and Caliban must follow it completely with his face. And then at the end, Prospero closes his hand, and Caliban is out of the trance.
Do you want to take a turn being the wizard? You want to be the wizard? Yes or no? Okay. So you're going to start with your hand closed, and you're going to open.
This game is really, really important in terms of giving of oneself and letting your eyes do all the work for you and not being so rigid in your body movements and just letting yourself be led. The power dynamic I really like, and I think it's important for these kids to have complete control over something in their lives, which they very rarely do. Being able to control where your teacher goes is very, very important. What's also interesting, when I started this game, I was concerned that, you know, they'd make him go really fast or it would be unsafe. I ended up realizing that the kids were very, very, very cognizant of that. I can only remember one instance where I had to stop and tell somebody that they had to take it slower, and then they immediately did.
Put our hands in the air. Touch the ground. Hands on our knees. A deep breath in.
As the program continues, and as they become more comfortable, there's a wave of calmness that settles over the class.
Put our hands in the air. We're going to touch the ground. We're going to put our hands on our knee or tray. We're going to take a deep breath in. And we're going to turn the clock off.
We're then able to do stuff which are the more consequential things, such as work on a cooperative play. And then through that, once we've established that connection, we're able to work on things like facial recognition.
What face are we doing? Hello! Oh, very good.
Eye contact, body awareness, body engagement, imagination, communication, communicating that you don't want to play.
You want to play again, yes or no? No?
To improve and play these games.
First we're going to go on.
The main overarching thing that the games work is cooperative play. They're able to open themselves up enough to do it. Me and Kelly Hunter, who started the program, one thing that we are both adamant about is that all kids can be taught through this method. There isn't a single child that is too high or too low to work with this method. Now, her methodology in her book kind of focused more on the higher functioning. As I was learning about it and working with some of the students during that weekend, in my mind, I was translating it into how to work with people more like my brother. I believe that those kids are the ones that are often ignored. As we, as a society and as an educational community, have moved more towards inclusion and we've pushed more towards that, I feel like we're so intent on getting the kids who are very high functioning integrated into society that we hide some of the lower functioning kids because they don't fit into our definition as to what a person with a disability can be and should be.
I'm gonna take your hand and I'm gonna say, hi. Hey. Hi. Good to see you. Good.
It's not about curing autism. It's about finding a way that these individuals can live in our society based on who they are as individuals. If you have autism, you aren't like me. I don't have autism.
What do you like?
Pizza.
Pizza?
And that's not a bad thing, but that's not a good thing. That's just a thing. In the same way that I am a boy, she's a girl, it's just a characteristic trait. It's why we say individuals with disabilities instead of disabled individuals. It's why we've made that small syntax change, which is kind of changing the way we are. And they know that you care about them and you love them and you respect them as adults and humans in our society, the improvement will come. A lot of people who come and watch the class with Tori, that's the thing they say. They watch Tori in that class and they're like, look how relaxed she is.
Oh, you wonder.
She's not her normal, kind of very hypersensitive self.
It's so cool to watch students who struggle to make eye contact, look Ben straight in the eye and say hello.
Hello. Hello.
It's amazing to see students who have trouble expressing their own emotions recognize, oh, this is what an angry face looks like. It's not just a PEX picture that I hand to someone when I feel like I want to hit someone.
A huge piece of it is when you can see in the individuals that are in the program that they're enjoying it, and by their little movements or a smile here or whatever. That's a huge piece, and I think that's what gives it the seal of approval more than me.
For instance, we had one student and we were doing our morning meeting and it just came off the top of his head and he was like, cramps.
Cramps.
And the teacher went right into it and we were so impressed and we played the game with him, so it works. They're holding on to it.
Very good. Excellent. Who would like to play first? Tori, do you want to play? Yeah? Okay.
See, I really didn't know how Tori would react because she's always, like I said, kind of been on the sidelines, and she would always do things beside of kids or watch other kids.
Yeah.
Right, and she loves being around people, but she never wanted to really interact. So, you know, I said, yeah, we'll try it.
She wants to be in the middle of things.
Yes, yes.
Who wants to go next? Matt, do you want to play?
Yes.
Come on up. Do you want to do the advanced version?
Matthew actually goes to my parents' church, and I was in their classroom one day, and it took him a minute to realize who I was because I was out of context. Once I started talking about drama class and all that, we had a little extra time after Sunday school, and I asked Matthew, you know, do you want to play cramps? Do you want to show your teachers the games that we play at school? And he said yes, and he was right in it. To see these students just grow, to see them express emotions, to see them socialize, to hear reports back from the teachers that, you know, this student wouldn't even look me in the eye last year, and now he's making eye contact and having more conversations and can tell me when he's angry, can tell me when he's hungry, can tell me when he's sad. And it's all because of the activities that we do in class.
You want to close your eyes, that's fine. If you want to rock back and forth, that's fine. Whatever you would like to do to relax.
I started seeing results after 1 week when I first started teaching. You know, the relaxation technique definitely helps. That way they're not overstimulated through the whole class.
Well, one thing we were discussing that I've noticed with her, and I didn't put it together that it was from this program, but we had both commented that she notices things where she's a little more empathetic. Like she'd come up and put her arms around us. She never used to do that. Or she'd say, "Mommy's sad," or, you know, ask things that I'm like, I don't know.
She understands much more nonverbal cues than she
Yes, yes.
Oh, this island is mine.
How do you make her
Good job.
Matthew, one of his goals is to, you know, approach and speak, you know, use his words more.
I say cramps, and Matt says, "Oh, this island is mine." Correct. Ready? Here we go. Prompt him if we need. And cramps.
Oh, that's mine.
Better. Cramps.
Oh, that's mine.
Cramps. Good job.
Austin, he knows what day, what time it is, and you know, if we're doing something else or not even paying attention to time, he reminds us. Hunter Heartbeat Friday, so they look forward to coming down.
This gives them a safe non-school space to express feelings, to express their talents, to express new ways of understanding who they are as people.
I know what he's doing. He's doing his Tai Chi moves.
You're right. Awesome, I love Tai Chi.
This kind of opens it up and shows them, hey, I can, you know, just get out there and I can, you know, say it without waiting for that cue. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things I see.
Lisa, are we doing? Yeah. Hello. Say it angry. Hello. Can you yell it? Hello.
There's an element of structure to it, which I think really helps our students. You know, there is a way that it runs, that they know, okay, this comes next, this comes next, this comes next.
Oh, yeah, graduating is scary. He's going to leave the safety of the Bobby B. Fairfax school he's been in for 8 years. The only thing I hope for is that he find, like the program I chose, it's actually very similar to Bobby B. Fairfax structured day.
There just isn't that much out there, and I worry about her going back to being a more introverted and not wanting, you know, how she is now. It's like she wants to go out and be part of things.
I guess my hope is that they take something from this program and are able to connect with the world around them and find joy in it.
I really think Hunter Heartbeat is a one-of-a-kind program to combine Shakespeare and the heartbeat and social skill building and emotional expressions.
Yes! Yes!
Goodbye. We'll wear them out. Goodbye. Goodbye. Nice.
Past the facial recognition, past the eye contact, the thing that I hope that these individuals take with them after the program is that there is value in connecting with another person.
I want to thank everyone for an excellent class today. Very good work. And I will see you guys soon. Good work.